again, a domain is your web address, and the hosting service allows you to run your website and store all of your content. So you really need both of those in order to make a WordPress website. And what I want you to do is come to the text tutorial on how to make a WordPress website quick and easy. So there is a link to this page in the video description, and this is the text tutorial for this entire video. So once you're on this page, what I want you to do is come down to step number 1, which is get hosting and a domain. And you'll see a link right here to the InMotion website. And that's where we're going to go to register our domain and get hosting service. And if you click on this link right here, you're going to be able to register a domain for free. So that's why I want you to click on this link. So go ahead and click on this, and you should be redirected to the InMotion website right here. And again, I want you to go through that link because you're going to be able to register a domain for free, and you're going to get up to 56% off for all of your hosting. And that's the largest discount that you'll find on the internet for InMotion, and InMotion is one of the best hosting services available. They're super fast, really reliable, they're cheap, and they have great customer service, and they give you a really easy way to install WordPress so that you can create your WordPress website. And that's why I'm going to recommend them to you. So once you come to this page, what I want you to do is come down here to where it says business hosting, and we're going to hover over the learn more button and just click on that. And once you come to this page, you can see right here that you're going to be able to register a domain for free, and that's going to save you $14.99. And down here, you can see that we have 3 different plans, the Launch, Power, and Pro plan. And I recommend the Launch plan if you're only going to make 1 or 2 websites, but if you want to make more than 1 website, then you probably want to choose the Power plan because you can host up to 6 different websites on this plan right here. So what we're going to do for this video tutorial, since we're only making 1 website, is we're going to select the launch plan. And again, you can select whichever one that you want. But once you're ready, what I want you to do is hover over order now and then click on the 1-year option. And now what we're going to do is register a domain. So what I want you to do is privacy. This is just an extra cost and we don't really need this. So if you want, you can remove this and you can always add it back later. And up here, you can see that you get a really large discount. So this is about 56% off. And again, this is the largest discount that you can get with InMotion if you go through the link that I have on the text tutorial. And that is an affiliate link. So I do get a small little fee from InMotion, but it's no charge to you. So now we have our hosting and we have our free domains. So what we want to do when you're ready is click on the continue button right here. And again, you're going to see this notification right here, and we don't need the privacy protection right now. So just make sure that it says no thanks right here, and then click on the continue button. And now what you want to do is create an account with InMotion. So type in your email address, and once you're ready, click on the continue button. And now what you want to do is pause the video so that you can fill everything out over here for your billing information. So go ahead and do that on your own. And then once you're ready, what I want you to do is come down to the bottom and click on the review my order button. And once you're ready to review your order, come down to the bottom to this section right here and check this box that says you agree to the terms, and then click on the checkout button. And once you register your domain and get hosting, what I want you to do is go to your email inbox, and you should see this email from InMotion called verification required. And what you want to do is open that up and click on this link down here to verify your domain. So once you click on this link, you're going to open up a new pop-up, and you want to verify your contact information. And once you do, you'll see this notification right here that says contact information verified. And once you do, we are good to go and we can close out of this. And now what I want to do is go back to the email inbox to open up the next email that we need from InMotion. So let me just click back right here. And now what I want you to do is open up this email from InMotion hosting titled Welcome to InMotion. And you should see some login details right here to your account management panel. And this is where you can go to access a bunch of stuff. But we don't need to go in here because we had InMotion install WordPress for us, which saves a lot of time. So we can just scroll down to the WordPress details right down here. And this is where we're going to go to log in so that we can customize and create our WordPress website. So you want to save this information, and this link right at the top, this is how you're going to log into your WordPress website. So make sure that you write this down and save that. And once you're ready, we can just click on that. And you'll get this pop-up right here, and you should have the username and password from your InMotion email. So go ahead and paste that in. And then once you're ready, go ahead and click on Remember Me, and then click on the Login button. And once you're logged in, this is your WordPress dashboard. And this is where you're going to go to create all your different pages and posts and upload your images and select your settings and everything. So you're going to become very familiar with the WordPress dashboard as we go through making our WordPress website. So now that we're logged in, what I want to do is move on to the next step, which is going to be installing the WordPress theme that we're going to use. So what I want you to do is hover over Appearance on the left-hand side and click on Themes. And once you're on the themes page, a theme is a template with a bunch of different custom options that let you build out your WordPress website. So we want to select a special theme for this WordPress tutorial. So what I want you to do is click on this Add New button right here. And once you come to this page right here, I want to search for a theme called Ocean WP. So go ahead and type that in and you should see the search result right here. So you should see this theme pop up. And if you hover over it, we can just click on Install. And once the theme is installed, let's just click on the Activate button right here. And once the theme is activated, if you want to go and check it out, go ahead and click on Visit Site and it'll open up a new tab. And if we go to it, you can see that your website looks pretty basic right now, but don't worry because we're going to go in here and customize the look and feel in just a little bit. But right now, what I want to do is just move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is install the required plugins that we need for this WordPress website tutorial. And plugins are tools that help you customize and build out your entire WordPress website. So the ones that we want for this website are the Elementor plugin and the Ocean Extra plugin. So what we can do is just click on this link right here that says Begin Installing Plugins. And once you come to this page right here, let's just check this box at the top so that you select both of these plugins and then go into this drop down and select Install and then click Apply. And once the plugins are installed, we can go and check them out. So if you hover over plugins, go ahead and click on Install Plugins. And you should see a list of all your plugins right here. And you can see that we have the Elementor and the Ocean Extra plugin right here. And if you ever want to install some additional plugins, you can always just click on Add New. And if you ever need a plugin for your WordPress website, you can search by these filters right here, or you can type in a keyword and find the plugin that you can use for your WordPress website. And I'll let you play around with this on your own. And we do go over this stuff in more detail in our video tutorial on how to use WordPress. So I'll link you to that video in the video description. But right now, what we're going to do is just move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to make some pages for our WordPress website. So what I want you to do is hover over Pages on the left-hand side and then click on Add New. So creating a page is really easy. All you're going to do is just type in the name of the page right here. So we're going to make a home page. So I'll just type in home right there. And we're going to come back down here and select some options in a little bit. And then we're going to edit and customize the page with the Elementor page builder in a little bit. But what I want to do right now is just create all the pages that we're going to have for our WordPress website. So once you type in your title for the first page, go ahead and click on Publish right here. And once the page is published, we're going to create a few more pages together, and I'm going to speed this up just a little bit just to save some time, but go ahead and create whatever pages that you want. So all you have to do is click on Add New and just type in the name of the pages right here and then click on Publish, and we'll create another page right here. So I'll type in blog and then click Publish, and we'll just create two more pages. So click on Add New, and we can type in services right here and click Publish. And then we'll create one more. So I'll just do Add New one more time and create a contact page and then click Publish right here. And if you want to see all of your pages, what you can do is hover over Pages and click on All Pages. And you should see a list of all your pages right here. And you should see a sample page right here. And this is made by default when you install WordPress. So if you want, you can click on Trash right here to delete this. And now you just have a few pages right here. So now we have all of our pages for our WordPress website, and you can always go and create some additional pages or change the pages right here. And we're going to come back to this page a little bit later and customize some of these. But now what I want to do is just move on to the next step for WordPress website. So what I want you to do is hover over Settings on the left-hand side and click on Reading. And once you're on the readings page, what I want to do is select the home page and the blog post page. So right here, click on a static page and then go into this first drop down and select the home page that you just made. and then go into the second drop down and select the blog post page that you made. And again, if I do go too fast, you can always pause video and rewind and rewatch some sections. I am going to speed this up because this stuff is pretty easy and I don't want to bore you with going over the same steps over and over again. So once you're ready, let's just click on Save Changes. And once those settings are saved, now what I want to do is change the permalinks. So again, under Settings right here on the left-hand side, let's click on Permalinks. And once you're on the permalinks page, come down here and let's select the post name option. This is good for SEO and just looks a lot cleaner. And once you're ready, come down to the bottom and click on Save Changes. And once those settings are saved, now what I want to do is add the www dot in front of the domain or web address. So underneath Settings, let's click on General. And once you're on the general settings page, this is where you can change the site title. So what we can do is just change this to Design Studios or whatever name that you want for your website. And if you want to put in a tagline, you can, or you can delete this. And then right down here where it says WordPress address, all I want to do is come in here before my domain name. I want to type in www dot. And I want to do the same with the site address. So again, just type in www dot and make sure that you don't delete or edit anything else, because if you do, it's going to make your site crash and then you're going to have to start all over again. So double and triple check that you just typed in www dot in both of these. And then once you're ready, come down to the bottom and we'll just click on Save Changes. And now you should be logged out and all you have to do is just log back in. So once you're ready, click Login. And once you're logged in, these settings should be saved. And now we're going to move on to the next step. So we can always come back into the custom settings and upload a custom logo and change our colors and everything. And we can come back and do that a little bit later. But what I want to do right now is just move on and show you how to create a header menu so that you have links at the top of your website. So what I want you to do is hover over Appearance and then click on Menus. And once you're on the menus page, we can just type in a menu name right here. So I'll just type in header and then click on the Create Menu button. And once the menu is created, now what we want to do is go into this drop down right here and just select the pages that we want to add to our header menu. So I'm going to select all these pages and just click Add to Menu. And once the items get added right here, if you want, you can click and drag these around to rearrange these to whatever order that you want. And I'll probably speed this up a little bit. And then once you're ready, come down here. And what I want you to do is check this box for the main menu. So whatever you put in here is going to show up on the main menu at the top. And then you can create some additional menus for your footer. And if you want a top bar or a different mobile menu, you can just create those and select where you want to display these menus. So once you're ready, let's click on Save Menu. And once this menu is created, now we have our header menu and we can create a footer menu really quickly if you want. So let's click on Create a New Menu. And once this pop-up comes up, we can just type in footer right here and click on Create Menu. And now we want to add some pages or links to our footer menu. So I'll do the home page, about, and contact just for fun. And then click on Add to Menu. And once these show up, you can rearrange these if you want. And then come down here and select footer and then click on Save Menu. And once the footer menu is saved, we are good to go. And if you want to ever edit any of these items, you can click and expand this and then you can change the navigation label right here, or you can delete this item by clicking on Remove right here. And you can also add custom links if you want by clicking on this and then typing in the URL and the navigation label right here. And if you want to edit the header or footer menu, you can just select them right here and then click on the Select button right here. Okay, so pretty much we are done with the header and footer menu, and you can always come back in here and customize this stuff on your own. But now what I want to do is just move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is go into our theme settings and show you how you can customize the look and the feel of the header menu and also how you can upload your own logo. So what I want you to do on the left-hand side is hover over Appearance and click on the Customize link. Once you're on the Customize page, you can see there are a bunch of different tabs here for all of your different theme settings. And what I want to do is just go through some of these ones that I think are important. And you can always pause video and go through these other ones on your own. And I will create a more detailed video that goes through all of these different tabs. So I'll link you to that in the video description once it's done. So on the right hand side, you can also see that there is a preview screen, and this is what your visitors see right now if they go to your WordPress website. And if you make any changes to the theme settings, they'll show up over here. And once you're done with all of the theme settings and the changes, what you want to do is click on the blue button up here just to save everything. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is go to the site identity tab. So click on that. And what you can do here is change the site title. So mine says Design Studios. And if you upload a logo, it's going to replace this. And I'll show you how to upload a logo in just a little bit. But if you like the site title, what you can do is just put in whatever name of your website is right here. And you can also add a tagline right here. And if you want to have a favicon, what you want to do is upload that by clicking on Select Image right here. And then find that image that you want to upload. And then once it's uploaded, your favicon should show up over here and also next to your web address on some web browsers right here. Okay, so I'm not going to make any changes here, so I will just click back. But if you do make changes, make sure that you click on the publish button right here just to save everything. So once you're ready, I want you to come down to the general options tab and click on that. And once you're on this tab, what we're going to do is go to the general styling tab. So click on that. And what you can do here is change the primary color for your WordPress website if you want. So right now, the default color is this baby blue color, and you can see it over here. And also whenever you hover over these links right here. If you want to change this color, all you have to do is click on select color, and then you can drag this wheel around to whatever color that you want to have. And you can see now that I changed the color, it changes over here. And also when I hover over these items right here. So I'm going to leave this as the default, but that is how you change the primary color for your WordPress website. And maybe I'll go back in here and change that a little bit later. And you can also change the hover primary color right here. So that's just when you hover over an item like a button, it's going to change to this color right here. So once you're ready, you can come down to the bottom to the links color section. And if you want to change the color of your links, you can do that right here. So you can see that they're a gray color right here. And if you hover over it, it changes to that baby blue color. I'm going to leave everything as is right now, but this is where you change the link colors. And we can also customize the header menu link colors in just a little bit also. So I'll show you how to do that in a few seconds. So let's go back and let's go to the general settings tab. So in the general settings tab, this is where you can go to change the layout for your pages and posts. And for the pages, what I wanted to do is select this option right here, which is the full width option. So that's going to get rid of that sidebar right here. And then for my posts, I'm going to leave it just like this. So I will have a sidebar, and I'll show you how to customize that in just a little bit. So if you like the full width option for your pages, then just select this one. Otherwise, you can select any of these other options. And then once you're ready, we can just click back right here. And what we're going to do is click on the publish button to save everything at the end. So we don't have to do that right now. And if you want to change the page title or the font or anything like that, you can click here and then you can do that here. So you can change the text color and the background color and the size and everything. But we're not going to do that, but I did want to point that out to you. So we'll just go back, and I think that's all we're going to do for the general options. So we'll just go back to the main page right here. And now what we can do is go down to the typography tab. And this is where you can go to change all of your different font styles for your body paragraphs, your headings, your logo, your main menu, and everything like that. So there's only a few things that I want to change. So what I want to do, since I'm going to have a text logo like this, is I want to change the font. So I'll go in here and click on logo. And I'll just go into the font family dropdown and find the font that I want to use, which is going to be called Permanent Marker. So once I find that right here, I'll just click on that and you'll see that it gets updated right here. And I can change the font style right here. So I'll put in 32px, and make sure that you put in px at the end if you change the font size so that it shows up like this. And if you want, you can change the line height or the letter spacing, but I'm pretty happy with it just like this. So I'll just click back right here. And what I want to do now is just change the font style for the main menu since we're in this section right here. So I'll click on main menu, and I'm going to leave the font family as is. But what I want to do is come into text transform, and I want to uppercase everything. And that's just going to make all of these letters uppercase. And if you want, you can change the font size. I'll leave that as is. And if you want to change the letter spacing, you can do that like this, just to give each letter more spacing. So I'll just put it at 0.5 or 0.4, and that looks pretty good. So once you're ready, we can just click back right here. And pretty much that's all I want to do for my font styles, but you can always pause video and go through these ones on your own. Otherwise, once you're ready, let's click back right here. And now what I want to do is get rid of the top bar up here. So if you like this, you can keep it and customize it. But what I want to do is just come to the top bar tab and click on that. And I want to go into the general tab right here. And I just want to uncheck this box right here to disable the top bar so that it doesn't show up. And I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So once you're ready, if you like that, let's click back right here. And then let's go back one more time. And now what we can do is go down to the header tab to customize this entire section right here. So let's click on this. And what I want you to do is go to the general tab right here. And what you can do here is choose the header style that you want. So there's a bunch of different options that you can play around with. And the one that I want is the transparent option. So if you want, you can select that. And then you might see a little border line right here. If you want to get rid of that, just uncheck this box right here that says header border bottom, and that's going to remove that. And if you do have the transparent option and you want to have a color for your header menu, what you can do is come down here and click on select color, and then you can choose whatever color that you want. And you can make this transparent by just dragging this over to the left-hand side, just like this. But what I want to do is just make this the default. So I'm going to clear that. But if you want to play around with that, go ahead and do that. And then once you're ready, let's click on back right here. And now what we can do is go to the logo tab. And what you can do here, if you have your own custom logo, is you can upload it by clicking on select logo and then find the logo that And now what we're going to do is learn how to customize and create all of our different pages for the WordPress website that we're making. So what I want you to do is come down to pages on the left-hand side of your WordPress dashboard and click on all pages. And now you should be on this page right here with a list of all the pages that you created. And you can always go and create some additional pages by clicking on add new right here. Or what you can do is hover over these and delete them if you don't want them. So we're going to delete this sample page if you have that, because that's created by default. So let's click on trash right here. And once that page is removed, now what I want to do is go and show you how to build and make the home page. So hover over home and click on edit. And once you're on the edit home page, what I want you to do is come down to the Ocean WP settings, and in the main tab, come to where it says content layout, and in this drop down, let's select the 100% full width option. And what that's going to do is just make the page go from one end all the way to the other. And once you're ready, let's just go to the title tab, and I want to disable the page title for the home page. So I'll just click on this right here. And then what we're going to do is go and save this. So let's click on the update button right here. And once the page is updated, now what we can do is go into the Elementor page builder and start customizing our page. So click on this button right here that says edit with Elementor. And once the page builder loads, you can see that you have a blank canvas right here. And this is the home page that we're making right now in WordPress. And then on the left-hand side over here, you have a bunch of different widgets, and you can just click and drag these into the home page, and you can customize the entire layout this way. And you can add a bunch of different sections. So if I click on this, you can see that you can add a full width row, or you can have a row that's split in half, or any of these other options. And you can add as many different rows as you want. So you can have a bunch of different sections. And that's how a bunch of people were making their WordPress websites using the Elementor page builder. But the page builder has improved a lot since a lot of people started using it. So instead of creating sections on our own and trying to figure out what looks good, now what we can do is use the templates that the page builder team has created for us. So if we click on this button right here that says add template, and you should get this pop up right here. And if you're on the pages tab, then you'll see a bunch of pre-made templates right here. And these are all made by the Elementor design team. And they research what makes a good website, and they made all of these professional looking templates for you to use. So if you like any of these, what you can do is hover over them and click on it, and you'll get this preview screen right here. And you can just scroll down and see what the entire template looks like. And if you like the look and the feel of it, then you can add it to the page that you're making by clicking on the insert button on the upper right. And you can always customize these templates, so you can change the photos and all of the content. You can even change the colors and the sections that are on the template. So if you don't like anything that you see here, you can always delete it, and you can always add some additional stuff. So the template is really just a template. It's a framework that lets you build out your page and makes life a lot easier than using all of the widgets and dragging them in yourself. These are pre-made, so really it just helps with the design process of making the WordPress website that you want. So what we can do is just go back and find a template that you want to use. So what I'm going to do is just click on trend right here, and you can see once it sorts that we have templates for the about page right here, and even a contact us page. So maybe we can add these to the different pages that we're making a little bit later. But right now, since we're making the home page, the template that I want is this one right here. So I can click on the preview button right here just to get it to pop up, and you can see what it looks like. And if you like this one, then go and find this one. And what we're going to do is just click on the insert button right here. And now you should see the template get inserted into your preview screen right here. And I'm going to show you how to edit all of this in just a little bit. But first, what I want to do is just save everything so that we can go and check it out. So I'm going to click on the update button right here. And once everything is saved, if I click on this little icon right here, I can open up a new tab. And once this tab opens up, you can see what the home page looks like with our custom header at the top. And if you like everything here, then all you have to do is just go into all of these different sections and update them with your own content. But you can always go and delete some of this stuff. So let me show you a few things with the Elementor page builder. And once you're back on the preview page, if you hover over these different sections, you'll see that they're separated by these blue boxes. So we have a section for our slider right here, and then we have another one down here. You can see that we have this blue box. And if we ever want to edit any of these sections, we can just click on the little icon right here at the top, and then we'll get this pop-up to edit this section. So we can change the layout, we can go into the style tab and change the background color, and we can change the spacing in the advanced tab right here. So I'll show you how to do this stuff in just a little bit. But first, let me just walk you through the rest of this template and how you can use the page builder to customize these pages however you want. So if we come down a little bit, what you can do is actually move these sections to different places on the page too. Just click and drag it and drop it wherever you want. And you can see that we can move these little rows into different spots. And if you ever want to remove a row or a section, just hover over it and click on the X right here. And that's going to delete that row. And you can always undo these actions by clicking on this little icon at the bottom where it says history. And you'll see a list of all the actions right here. And then you can click on these icons right here to bring back anything that you just did. So if you click on this one that says editing started, you're going to be back to square one, and that's going to just start everything back from scratch. So what I actually want to do for this home page is I do want to remove this. So if you are using this template, I do recommend that you just delete this section right here by clicking on the X. And if you want to replace any of these sections with something else, what you can do is click the X right here, and then we can add something called blocks. So at the bottom over here, what we can do is click on add template. And if you're on the blocks tab right here, you'll notice that you have a bunch of pre-made sections for the WordPress page that you can insert. So what we can do is go and find a new testimonial block to add. So I can go into this drop down right here and just search for testimonials. And we can always go in and edit the look and feel of these with our own content and colors and all that stuff also. So maybe I want to add this one right here. So what I can do is just click and check it out. So I'll get this little pop-up right here. And if I like how this looks, I'll just click on the insert button right here. And you can see that the testimonial block gets added right here. And what I want to do is just drag this up a little bit. So I'm going to move this over here. So pretend that I like this right here. And I want to go in here and just edit this. So maybe I think this is a little too wide. So I'll just click here just to make sure that we're editing this section. And then in this section over here, I'll go into the advanced tab and I'll just change the padding right here to maybe 50 px for the top and 50 px for the bottom. And you can see that it's not as wide anymore. And if I wanted to change the background color, I can go into the style tab. And then right over here, I can just click on this paintbrush and get this pop-up right here and go in here. And maybe I want to select this color, and you can see that the row changes to another color. But this is actually kind of ugly, so I'm going to clear this. And pretty much that's how you edit a row. So I'm going to go back and revert back to the old testimonial because I actually like that format. So I'm going to click on the history button right here. And I'm just going to go back over here and click on this one right here. And you should see the testimonials get added back right here. And if you don't like any of the pre-made blocks or the templates, again, you can always go and just create your own section by clicking on this button right here and then adding however many columns that you want for this row. So if I clicked on this one, I can go in here and edit this row by clicking on this and then going in and changing the padding to whatever I want. So I can add some spacing right here. And then we can go in by clicking on this button and adding whatever elements that we want. So we can just drag these in and then type in whatever we want. So I can type in services right here and I can go and center this and then click on the styling tab and change the font color to black. And then what I can do is go into the typography and change the font size to make it larger. And then I can go back and add another element. So I can add a text element. And what I can do here is just type in whatever I want. And then I can go to the styling tab and I can center this also and just add a bunch of different elements. So again, you can always build out your own sections if you want also. But again, I think the Elementor page builder does a great job with creating a bunch of different types of blocks and templates that you can use, and you can always go in and customize them however you want. So instead of making our life difficult and trying to create a block on our own, I'm just going to suggest that you use the blocks and the templates. So I'm going to delete this. And what I want to do right now is just show you how I would customize this page. And I think if you follow along, you're going to learn a lot about how to use the page builder also. And what that's going to do is give you all the tools and resources that you need to customize the homepage and any other page that you want to create for your WordPress website. So if you want, you can follow along and we're going to do a bunch of different edits to the homepage, and then I'll let you pause the video and create all the other pages that you want on your own with a bunch of blocks and templates. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to show you how to change the slider video to another video or a background color. So what I'm going to do is just hover over this row and click on the button right here so that we have this edit section. And then what I'm going to do is go into the styling tab. And what you can do here is add a new video link if you want to change the video right here. Or what you can do is click on this icon right here, and then you can change the color to whatever you want right here. And you can also add an image if you want also by clicking on the plus button right here. So you can go in here, and if you want to upload your own file, just click on upload files and then click on select files. And then what you can do is add your image if you want, just by finding it and then clicking on it. And then you'll see the image get inserted right here. And then we can just click on this button. And now you can see that we have a slider image right here. But if you don't want the image right here, we can go back in here and delete this. And we can just go back and upload a video link right here by going to the video link section. And we can open up a new tab. And we can go to YouTube, and what I can do is just type in GoPro Hero 6 and go here. And I actually think this is a really awesome video. So if I go here and click on this, what I can do is just click on share right here, and you'll get this URL right here. And what you can do is just copy that and then go back to the Elementor page builder right here. And we can paste that in right here. And you should see a video get inserted right here. And I think this video looks pretty cool. And if you are using a video background, what you want to do is have a fallback image. And that's so if the video doesn't upload, you have an image that uploads in its place as a backup. So what you want to do is click on the plus button right here. And you should get this pop up, and this is where all of your images are going to be stored. And you can see that there are some images already uploaded, and that's because we're using these Elementor templates with images on them. So it automatically uploads the images once we decide to use one of these templates. And if you ever want to clear these out, you can just click on the image and then click on the delete link right here, and that's going to remove the image. If you want to upload your own images, you can click on upload files and then just click on select files and find the image that you want to use, and then you can just upload that image. And I will have some resources in the video description to show you where you can go to get free images to use for your WordPress website that you're making also. Okay, so that's going to be in the video description. And right now, all I want to do is just show you how to upload this fallback image. So I'm going to select this image, and you can see that it's selected with that check mark, and then click on insert media. And now you should see the fallback image right here. And if you want to change the background overlay, which is a blue or purple tint right here, you can go into background overlay and then click on this color tab right here. And then you can change this to whatever you want. You can see that it's green right now. I can change it back to purple. So really, that's just something that you can do on your own. And what I want to do is actually remove this video background. I just wanted to show you that you can replace the video. I think it's a little distracting right now, so I'll put it back when I publish this video tutorial. But right now, I'm just going to remove this. And you can see now we have our default fallback image right here. So that looks pretty good, and I'll just keep that as is for now. And what I want to do now is show you how you can edit the text and the icons and the buttons for this section really quickly. So if you want to edit any of this stuff, all you have to do is just hover over it and then click on the area that you want to edit. So I can click on the icon section right here. And if you want to change the icon, you can go into this drop down and select whatever icon that you want. And the Elementor page builder has a bunch of different stuff for you to choose from. You can actually type in a keyword if you want also. So we'll just leave that bicycle there. But if you want to change the title or the little text over there too, you can also do that. And if you want to shrink the spacing, you can go to the advanced tab and you can see that there is some bottom padding here. So you can always put that as 0 or change that to make this a little smaller, this gap right here. So I'll leave that as is, but I do want to change the title right here. So I'm going to click on this and I want to go in here and just type in Design Studios. And I think that looks pretty good, but if you want to go and change the font color or the size, you can always click on the Style tab and then change the font color right here, or click on this pencil to get the typography, and you can go in here and change the font style or actually change the size of the font over here. So it's really up to you. I'm going to leave this as is. And what I want to do is actually just hover over the section right below it. And you can see that there is a small little row right here or section. So if you want to get rid of that, just hover over this pencil and then you can click on the X right here and that's going to bring this up. Okay. But if you don't want that, remember you always have the option of going back on your history right here and then just going back one step. So I like this how it is, and maybe I'll update this text a little bit later. But all I really want to do, because this is pretty simple and it doesn't really matter what my demo site looks like, it just matters what your WordPress website looks like. I want to just show you how to edit the button right here. So let's click on this and we can go in here and change the text. So we can delete this and type in something like learn more, and we can link this button to the about page if you want. So if you want to do that, let's type in http://www.nyctechwebby.com/about. And what you want to do is type in your own website name right here. And the /about is going to link to the about page that we're going to make a little bit later, or the one that we actually published a little while ago that you can make. So you can always get these URLs from your pages page also. So if you want to change the button size, you can do that right here in this drop down. You can change it to extra small and you can see that it shrinks just like that, or you can leave it as large. And if you want to change the style of this button, you can do that right here also. And if you want to change the color, click on the Style tab right here. And you can just come down here and click on the Background Color tab. And we can change this to purple. And then we can change the text color if we needed to white, but that looks pretty good. And if you want to change the hover color to something else, you can click on the Hover tab right here. And we can change this to white right here. And then what I want to do is change the text color to purple. So now if I click out of this really quickly, and now if I come down and hover over the button, you can see that it changes to another color. And I'm pretty happy with how this slider looks for my demo WordPress website. So if you need to pause the video, you can do that and update your slider. And if you need to, you can always click on the update button to save your changes. And then once you do, if you want to see what the website looks like, you can click on the preview changes button and it'll open up a new tab and you can go to it and see what your WordPress website looks like right now. So this looks pretty good. And I actually like a lot of this template, but I'll show you how to add some additional sections. So let me close out of this, and maybe you want to add an about section right here. So you can make your own by clicking and adding a new section, or what you can do is come down to the bottom and click on the Add Template button. And once you get this pop-up, we can just go to the Blocks tab, and you should have all of these pre-made blocks right here. And you can scroll through this and find the one that you want to add, or you can always just come to the top and filter by different sections. So we can click on About, and then we can find one that we like. So maybe we like this one right here, and we can check it out by clicking on the plus button right here. And if we like how this looks, we can just insert it, and it should show up at the bottom over here, and we can just click and drag it to wherever we want to place it. So I'll move it up here. And if it looks too big, you can always click over here and then edit this section. So you can go into the Advanced tab and then change the padding to whatever you want. So maybe we'll put this as 50px for the top and bottom. And then we can add a background color if we want also, just to play around with this, even though I'm probably going to delete this section. But again, what you can do to really customize this entire section is add whatever type of blocks that you want for the different pages. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. And I do want to mention that if you want to change anything here, or you want to substitute these images with icons, again, you can come down to the template section and click on this, and then just go back to the blocks tab right here. And then you can go in here and then search for services, and there's a bunch of different options. So you can see right here that you have icons that you can use, or these ones right here. So you have so many possibilities with customizing the layout for your WordPress website that I'll let you play around with this on your own. So I'm just going to close out of this. And what I want to do is just go up and just remind you how you can edit this stuff. So if you want to edit the image, all you have to do is hover over this and you can click on the pencil right here. And then you get the pop-up right here, and you can delete this. You can put in a new description and all that stuff. And if you want to style this text, you can always just go to the Style tab right here, and you can change stuff right here. You can go into this drop down and change the typography. It's really up to you. So again, it's a lot of trial and error, but whenever you make any type of change, you can see it right here real time. So if you don't like it, you can always undo the change, or you can save it, and then it's going to be on your WordPress website. So if you don't like any of these sections, feel free to delete them or replace them with anything else. And what I'll do really quickly is just show you how you can edit this section, and then again, link this button to the Contact Us page instead of having a blank link right here. So we'll just hover over this and click on the plus button right here. And if you want to change the background color, we can just go into the Style tab right here, and then go in here, and maybe we'll just have this blue color. So that looks pretty good. And then we can go and just change the button by clicking on this. And if we want to link that to the Contact Us page, we'll type in our URL right here. So I'll type in http://www.nyctechwebby.com/contact. And let me actually show you where you can get the URLs for all your different pages. So after I'm done editing this, I'll show you how to do that. So let me just change the background color really quickly. So I'll click on the Style tab and come down here, click on background color, and just change this, and then go to the Hover tab and then change this to white. And then I'll go into the text color and change this to the blue color. So let's see how that looks, because that might be a little weird. We might have to put in a border color right here. So let me click out of this, and yeah, there's no border right here to separate this. So let me click back in here and then go back to the Style tab and add a border. So go in here and click solid, and then we'll put in the border color right here. So I'll change that to black, and then we'll put in the width as 1px. So we'll put that all across. That looks a little thin, so maybe we'll change this to 3. And again, this is just a demo website, so it doesn't really matter what I put in here, but you can see that this is what it looks like right now. And that looks a little better, but it looks actually a little weird too. So if you don't like how it looks, always go back in the history, and then you can just click out of it. And that's all you have to do to undo your changes. So if you do like how this website looks and you're done editing everything, again, all you have to do is click on the update button right here, and that's going to save all of your changes. And pretty much this is the homepage that I'm going to have for this demo website. And again, it's so easy with these templates that I really encourage you to use them with the Elementor page builder. So don't build anything from scratch if you don't have to. Just use the pre-made blocks and the templates, and then customize whatever you need to. So let me show you how to get these URLs to link to your different buttons. So what we can do is hover over this little icon over here and click on that, and then just go back to our dashboard. And once you're on the edit homepage, down here where it says permalink, this is where you can get the URL for this page. So every page is going to have a unique URL, and you can come into each one of these and then just copy this URL and then paste it into the section where you want to link the button to whatever page that you want to. Okay, so pretty much we are done showing you how to make the home page. And if you need to, you can pause the video and edit your own home page by clicking on the edit button right here and then going back into the Elementor page builder and then adding whatever templates or blocks that you want and customizing them. And once you're ready, push play, and what we're going to do is go and create some additional pages. So right now I'm just going to move on, and I'll just hover over pages and click on all pages just to go back to the page list. And once you're back on the pages page with a list of all the pages that we created, we can move on and create the next page. And again, as we make these pages, it's going to be very simple because all we're using are the templates and the pre-made blocks. So I'm going to go through this stuff a little quickly, and we're not going to do too much customization because I'm just showing you how to use this stuff, and then you can go in and pause the video and then create your pages on your own. So right now, I'm just going to go and add a template for the About page. So I'll hover over About and click on the edit link. And once you're on the edit page, we can just come down to the settings down here. And in the content layout, I want to select the 100% full width option. And then I want to go to the title tab and just disable the page title right here. And before we enable the page builder, I want to save this. So I'm going to click on the update button. And once the page is updated, now we can come to this button right here and click on this. And once the page builder loads, again, you can always add as many different sections as you want and add whatever elements that you want to build out your own page. Or what you can do is use the pre-made templates, which is what I recommend. So I'm going to click on add template, and you can just go in here and find whatever template that you want to use for whatever page that you're building. And some of these do say Pro right here, and that means you would have to upgrade to the premium Elementor page builder in order to access some of these, but you don't really need to. You can just use the free ones, which I think are really good. So I'll click on trend right here, and I'll just select this one right here, and we can see a preview of this one, and maybe we'll edit the colors, but I think this one looks pretty good. So we can change some of this stuff. So if you like it, we can just click on insert right here. And now we have our template inserted right here, and I can go in and edit this. So let me just click on this right here, and I can come down to the style tab right here, and we can come down to the overlay, and we can change this to that purple color. And I think that looks a lot better for the style of the WordPress website that I'm making. And then if you want to change any of this other stuff, we can go in here. I can change our story to About Us. So maybe I'll just type About Us right here, and we can change the font color by highlighting this and then going into the style tab and changing this again to the site colors that we like. And maybe we'll change this icon right here so we won't have the heart, but we'll go in and just change it to something else. So I'll just select this eye right here for info, and I think that looks pretty good. And again, you can do whatever you want to your About page. If you want to add some additional sections, you can always come down to the bottom and click on add template. And again, you can go to the blocks tab, and you should see all of these pre-made blocks, and you can just find the one that you want to add to your WordPress page that you're making. And what I want to do is add a call to action to the bottom over here. So I'm going to find this one right here, and I can click to check it out. And I like how it looks, but I'm going to update or change this text right here. So I'll just click and insert this, and you should see it get inserted right here, and it looks a little big. So I'm going to click on this icon right here, and I'm going to change the padding right here to make it not as tall. So I'll change this to 50px for the top and bottom. And then what I can do is change the color right here. So maybe we'll make it the blue color or the purple color. And then I can change this text to the white color by clicking on style and then going into the text color and just changing this. And maybe I'll change the header right here. So instead of this text, I'll change it to have a question and put a question mark. And then this button looks a little different than the one on the home page. So if I want to replace this button, what I can do is hover over this and just delete it, and then go back to all of these elements right here. And if you don't see this, just click on this icon right here, and then find the button element and just click and drag it in right below over here. And now we can just edit this. So I can click right here, and I can center this. I can put in a link right here. So I'll type in http://www.elementor.com nyctechwebby.com/contact, and that's going to link to the Contact Us page. And then if I want to make this button larger, I can go here and change that to a larger text size. And then what I can do is go into the Style tab right here, and we can change the background color to another color. So maybe we'll make this white, and we'll make the text color the purple blue color, so you can see what it looks like that. And then we can also change the hover color to another color also. So maybe we'll have the text color as white, and then the background color, we'll change it to green, just for fun. And so now if I hover over this, it should turn green, and that looks pretty good. And again, if you ever want to delete any of these sections, you can do that by just clicking on the X right here. And if you want to change the background color over here or this overlay, we can just hover over this, click on that, click on Style, and then we have an image right here that you can replace if you want. If you want to keep it, go ahead and do that. Just come down here, and you can see there are two colors. So this actually goes from one color to another color. So what you can do is change these colors to whatever you want. And I'm just going to change this one. So you can see it goes from orange to purple. That looks pretty good. And we have a video inserted here. If you want to remove this, you can always just hover over it and click X. You can also edit this if you want. And you can see that it shows up here instead of in this whole section. And that's because if you go to the Advanced tab right here, the margin is -150. So that just pushes this up. Okay. So if you like what you see, and again, you can always link this stuff over here too by clicking on this. You can link it right here. If you like what you see, as I was saying, just click on the update button right here to save everything. And once everything is saved, we can go and check it out by clicking on this link right here. So let me go and see what the About page looks like. So we have our header, the title right here, and then all this stuff right here. So a little short section. And if you wanted to, you can update the icon and change the color, insert whatever you want. And down here, we have that cool little call to action that I just put in. And I just noticed I didn't change the text right here. So I will just go back in and do that right now. So I'll come down to the bottom and just click here, and I'll change this to Contact Us. And then click update again, and pretty much my About page is done. So if you want, you can pause the video, use this template if you want, use some different blocks if you want to add some different stuff, or maybe you want to use a pro template, you can do that too, and then just update whatever you want. And once you're ready, let's go on and create one more page together, and then I'll let you go off and make as many different pages as you want. So once you're ready, we can just click on this little hamburger icon and click this exit button right here. And now we should be back on the edit page right here, and there's really nothing to do. So let's go back to the pages list by hovering over pages and click on all pages. And the last page that I'm going to make together with you is because, again, the Elementor page builder, I can't say this enough, makes life so much easier. So let's hover over contact and click on the edit link right here. Once you're on the edit contact page, let's come down to the Ocean WP settings and just change the content layout to 100% full width, and then go to the title and disable this, or you can enable it. It's really up to you, but since we're using a template that probably has the page title or the title for this page, we're going to disable this. So once you're ready, click on the update button right here. And once the page is updated, we can come here and click on edit with Elementor. And once the page builder loads, I'm just going to add a template. So I'll click on this, and then I'll sort by trend. And I want to add this contact page. So I can click on it just to preview it, just to show you what it looks like. And the colors don't really match my WordPress website, but I can just go in here and customize this stuff. So I'll click insert right here just to insert the template. And then we can go in and we can change the overlay by clicking on this right here, and then go into the style, and we can keep this image and just come down to background overlay and change this to that blue purple color just to be consistent with the rest of our website. And then I can change the text right here from this orange color to white, so it looks a little bit better. And if you ever want to change any of this text, you can also do that on your own. And then down here, I'm not going to really edit anything. All I'm going to do is just change these colors so they match my website. So if you need to, you can always pause the video and then add or delete whatever you want, or you can just watch and learn how to use this page builder. And then whenever you're ready, you can go in here and customize all your different pages on your own. So just remember that you can always go and change the spacing for each of these sections by going into the edit section and changing the padding if you want. And you can always delete any section that you don't want on these templates, and you can add whatever type of row that you want also. You don't have to use the templates as they're built. You can customize them to look however you want, and you can also drag these rows to different places if you want also. And if you want to have this map, you want to edit this, so we can just hover over this pencil and click on this, and then we can type in our address here if you want. I'll just leave this as is, and I'll just come down to the social media buttons, and these are elements, so you can always add whatever elements that you want to these rows too. You can just click on this button right here, and you can see all these different elements that you can just click and drag into whatever section that you want. So all I want to do is just hover over this and click on this, and I can delete some of these that I don't want. So I'll delete these two. And if you want to add your own URL for some of these pages, just click on these buttons, and then you can type in your links right here for all of these different social media pages. Okay, so I'm just going to change the color really quickly. So we'll change this to white. So that looks pretty good. And pretty much I'm done with the Contact Us page. And that probably took what, 1 minute, 2 minutes really? And it probably would have taken a little bit more if I changed the text, but I'm pretty happy with the look of this. So whenever you're ready, just make sure that you click on the update button to save all of your changes. And then if you want to go check out the page, you can click on this icon right here, and it'll open up a new page, and then you can see what the page looks like with the template that you just chose or whatever blocks that you added to this page. So I'm pretty happy with this. And now I'm going to go back to my dashboard. So once you're ready, let's go back. So click on the hamburger and click exit right here. And now what you can do is pause the video and create whatever type of pages that you have for your WordPress website. So you can see on my pages list, we created the about page, the contact page, and the home page. I'm not going to create the services page with you because the steps are pretty much the same. I'm just going to add a template and then customize it with my own text and colors and images, and you can do that on your own. So what I want you to do is pause the video, edit or create whatever pages that you want, and then what we're going to do is show you how to create some blog posts. So if you want, pause the video right now. Otherwise, we're just going to move on to the next step. And now what we're going to do is learn how to create some blog posts. And this is going to be really easy. So if you're on your WordPress dashboard or you see this left-hand menu over here, to create a blog post, all you have to do is hover over post and then click on add new. And once you're on the add new post page, to create a blog post, all you have to do is type in your blog title right here. So we can type in professionally designed. And then what you're going to do is just come down here and type in your content. And if you want to edit any of this text, what you can do is just use any of these buttons right here. And if you only see the first row, what you want to do is click on this button that says toolbar toggle. And you'll have all of these buttons to link your text, to make it bold, to make it larger, and format your text however you want. So you can play around with this stuff on your own. And we don't really need to do anything with the WP settings over here. So if you want, you can add a featured image, which is what I want to do. And I'll show you what that looks like on the blog post page in just a little bit. So we can come here and click on this link right here, and we'll get our media library. And again, if you want to upload your own files, you can always just click on upload files and click on select files and find the image that you want to upload. I'm just going to use this demo image right here. So I'll just click that and click on set featured image. And now you should see the image get added right here. And now all we have to do to publish this post is click on the publish button right here. And pretty much that's all you have to do to create a blog post. And we can go and check it out by clicking on view post. And you can see on the blog post page that we have our featured image and our content section right here. And there's a few things that we can do to make this page a little better. We can delete the sample blog post that's installed with WordPress. And then I can show you how to customize the sidebar on the right-hand side. And I can show you how to add a background color for your header when you don't need a transparent header. So let's go back and do some of that stuff right now. Let's go to the Customize tab and change the background color for our header first. So click on this. And once you're on the Customize page, all I want you to do is come down to the Header tab and click on that. And then go and click on General. And then what we're going to do is come down to where it says Background Color and click on Select Color. And then choose the background color that you want for whenever you're not using a transparent header. And you can see that the background color turns to this color right here. And now all we have to do once you're ready is go ahead and click on the publish button. And once everything is saved, we can just close out of this. And once you're back on the blog post page, you're not going to see the background color show up right now because you have to go into the Ocean WP settings to change that. So let's click on edit post. And you have to do this for each of your blog posts. You have to come down to where it says Ocean WP and click on header. And then what you're going to do is click on enable and then go into the header style and select the minimal option or whichever option that you want, just not the transparent one. And then go back up to the top and click on the update button. And once the post is updated, now we can go and check it out. And once the post loads, now you can see that we have a header background color, which looks a lot better than the transparent option. And if you want to change the background color for the page title section, you can always go back into the Customize tab and then go into your general settings to the page title and you can update the background color there. But I actually like how this looks, and what I want to do now that we know how to create blog posts is I want to show you how to delete this one right here, and then you can pause the video and create however many blog posts as you want. And then I'll show you how to update this right sidebar right here. And then pretty much we are done creating our WordPress website. So let's go back to our dashboard and delete that sample blog post page. So I'll click on dashboard. And once I'm back on the dashboard, I'll come down to post and click on all posts. And once you're back on the post page, just hover over Hello World and click on trash to delete that sample blog post. And before we move on to creating or editing the sidebar, what I want to do is go and edit the blog page. So this is one of the pages that we created a little earlier, and we have to go in and change the header option. And then I want to change the layout for this blog post page because right now it just looks just like this. And what I want to do is customize this a little bit. So first we can go to the edit page. And if you're not on this page right now, what you can do is just hover over pages and click on all pages and then find the blog post page and then just click on that. And what we're going to do is come down here to the header, and then we're going to go in and do the same thing that we did for our blog posts. We're going to enable the header and then go in here and choose the minimal option and click update. And once that's updated, now what I want to do is go to the customize tab to change the layout for this blog post page. So I'm going to hover over appearance and click on customize. And once I'm on the customize page right here, I'm going to come down to where it says blog and click on that. And then what I want to do is go into the blog entries tab. And what I want to do is come down where it says blog style. And in this drop down, you can select whatever option that you want. And if you want, you can go to the blog page to check it out. And now you can see that the layout for the blog page looks a little different. So whenever you create some additional blog posts, they're going to show up in 2 rows just like this with a box just like this. And I think this looks a lot more professional than the layout that we had before. So I like this. And if you like this, go ahead and select the grid option and then click on the publish button right here to save your changes. And then we can just close out of this. And now the last thing that we're going to do is just show you how you can edit your sidebar. So on the left-hand side, if you're on your dashboard, just hover over appearance and click on widgets. And once you're on the widgets page, you're going to see a bunch of widgets on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to have this right sidebar. And what you're going to do to customize the sidebar is drag some of these widgets into the right sidebar and then place them wherever you want. So I just put in this About Me widget. And if I like it, all I have to do is click on the save button. And then if I don't like it, I can click on the delete button right here. And you can change any of these widgets that are in here right now by clicking and expanding and then putting in whatever title or deleting these if you want. So it's really up to you. You can customize the sidebar however you want. And once you're ready, then you're good to go. So again, let me just show you on the blog post page what the sidebar looks like. So I'll just click on this blog post right here. And you can see that the sidebar looks like this right now. If you don't like everything, you can just go into the widgets page and delete some of the stuff. So I can delete this one and maybe I'll delete the archives one. And pretty much that's all you have to do. So if you want, you can pause the video, update your blog posts, update your widgets. And then once you're ready, you are good to go. And you just learn how to make your own WordPress website. So what I want to do is just close some of these tabs. And I just want to say congratulations on learning how to make your own WordPress website using the Elementor page builder. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can always leave a comment or contact me via Facebook, email, or YouTube, and I'll get back to you.